Great. Hey, speaking of great, the county commission here in Polk County, I don't know how many of you realize that or this, it is arguably the best we've ever had in leadership in this county. They work together. They unfortunately don't get a chance much to play together. But the fact of the matter is, it's all about results. And the results that we have seen in Polk County are just absolutely phenomenal. And speaking of phenomenal, I think I'll repeat myself there, we have a county commissioner in the House. This county commissioner isn't just a normal county commissioner that you run into throughout the state of Florida. He's also a former NASCAR driver, Hall of Fame member, our own Rick Wilson. Rick, welcome aboard.
Hey, it's good to be here. Sure is, especially with this crowd.
Well, you know, one of these days we're going to do a blooper deal, and we're going to have a camera that shoots back into what's going on behind the scenes.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so.
I agree with him.
This is a family show. Well, the boss said no, so
we may have to show that at a retirement party.
Yeah.
So, Rick, I am going to start with this. So, I'm going to ask you to sign this card.
I will do it.
This will be part of what we put into the Hall of Fame as a display for you. So, thank you, sir.
Thank you. You know, those are amazing. You know, I bet I get
there we go.
two to three every day. You know, every day, if it's the county or where I live, some of my other businesses. But you know, it's a big deal, and it was bigger back in the day. But it's a big deal, and we sign a lot. They come from all over the world.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, and people, they don't know that. It's the talent in this county, both on and off the clock, is something else. But being a NASCAR driver, Rick, is, and not just having driven a NASCAR car once, you're an elite level. And getting into that, there's so many, millions of people that would love to sit in that driver's seat. How did you do that?
It's a lot of hard work. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of hard work and a lot of luck. Mm-hmm. You know, you can be one of the best race car drivers in the country, and if you don't have a little luck, you're not going to get there. And what I mean by that is the people you know and the people you meet. It's almost kind of like, you know, being out of a county commissioner, it's almost kind of like being a politician. You got to know the right people to get things done. You know, there's so many people trying to get into this sport. Well, I have to go back to when I was in there, but there were so many people. And it's just, you know, how things happened, people you meet. Now, of course, you got to work hard and run good. You got to win races. You got to be able to do that. And so, if you don't win races, you know, you're not going to get there. But you got to make all the right steps. And once you get up in that area of people, like, I mean, talking about NASCAR or Indy type racing, there's certain people that you know, they're the ones that, you know, make the calls. Mm-hmm. Who's going to drive this car, who's not going to drive this car. And so you just got to do a lot of politicking and work your you-know-what off and hope you meet the right people.
One of those names, you talked about relationships being important in the auto racing, it's an industry, is Richard Petty. Mm-hmm. And you had a relationship with Richard Petty. Tell us about that one.
Oh yeah, you know, I call him the King. You know, the King. He's been, you know, everybody, if they've got anything to do with NASCAR, they know Richard Petty, and the family. You know, Kyle. You know, I was fortunate enough to drive for him in '93, and you know, that was. I remember one time we were at Daytona, first race, February, first time I drove for him. And I come pulling in, you know, off track practicing, and you know, he walked up to the side of the car and let the window net down, and I'm sitting there, and he says, "Let me ask you a question. Which hand do you drive with?" And I, you know, being a smarty I am, I said, "Well, heck, King, I drive with both hands." You know, you know, but you know, most people use different. That's where their strengths are. Some people use their right hand. Some people use their left hand driving a race car. But you know, he was. I mean, he was. It was a real pleasure driving for him. You know, that family. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, we'll back up a little bit here. You grew up locally. You're a local guy.
Yep.
And
born and raised in Bartow. I got to throw Bartow in here now.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
Bartonian.
and NASCAR at the time, you're wrenching as well as driving.
Well, yeah. When I first started, you know, if people live here in Polk County, they know Auburndale Speedway.
Yep.
1976. I put a car together and went over there and entered my first race. And what was really kind of funny, when you enter your first race, you just start in the rear, you know, and they drop, you know, what we call everybody calls the flag, we call the rag. They drop the rag and you just go to, you know, running as hard as you can. Well, I didn't know nothing. But I was a drag racer before I come a stock car racer. And I had a pretty good drag car. But I put my drag motor in there. Didn't know nothing about turning left, but I knew about going straight. But anyway, you know, little Auburndale, you beat, bang, wreck. Well, and I wasn't too bad of a stock car driver, finding out that day. Well, I don't know how it happened. I mean, I wasn't the only one left, but I won the race. First race I started in Auburndale, 1976. Started in the rear and won the race. Now, a lot of things happened for that to happen. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't drive to the front, you know. And so I was sitting there, and there's really nothing to this, you know. But, you know, it started there. You know, but where I came from, our family, we were built a lot of roads in Polk County and around the state, heavy equipment, worked in the phosphate mines, but I was hands-on young. So turning wrenches, you know, was very important to me. And you know, making them go faster was even more important.
You know, I could go off on a tangent here about turning wrenches and how important that is. And, you know, I have two boys, Air Force boy and, you know, business boy. And, you know, try to coach them on mechanical things and fixing stuff and all of this, that, and the other. You don't see that much anymore, right?
No, you don't. I make that comment a lot, talking to people and even speaking about it. Back when I was coming up, and we all were coming up, there were hot rods everywhere. I mean, you know, everybody had a hot rod. I mean, you had you know, Camaros, Chevelles, Mustangs, you know,
GTOs,
you know, road runners with Hemis in them, you know, road runners with Hemis in them, and people had hot rods. You just don't see that anymore. But times have changed. These cars have got harder to work on. You know, if you don't have a computer, you're not savvy on this stuff, they've got hard to work on. Before, you just, you know, you could work on them. But basically, kids are sitting at home looking at playing games instead of out working on their hot rods. That's where they should be.
I make the joke all the time. Get out of your parents' basement. Get outside. You'll see this big bright thing called the sun.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
that's a good thing. You know, stock car racing, racing in general, is competitive, really competitive. But you kind of transitioned into the business world successfully. So, you know, a career in sports, I think, positions you well for a career in business.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I don't think you're any exception to that.
No, you know, people think, well, stock car racer, you know, you're a stock car driver, that's, you know, that's all you need to be, where there's a team there with you. If it wasn't for that team, you wouldn't be anywhere. And, you know, it makes you, you know, learn to appreciate who's around you, try to put the best people around you, it helps you make, you know, work with people. Same deal, you know, business is the same. You know, a lot of businesses, majority of them, you got to have a good team. You know, as a Polk County commissioner, we have a great team in the county, and that's what it takes to do that. And you know, working hard. You got to work hard. I mean, that's what I had to do to get where I was at, and to get to the Cup.
It's not an entitlement program.
No. And then there's always somebody standing behind you wanting to take your job.
So real quick before we're out of time here, what's it mean to you with Wilson Ranch, with that piece of preservation now?
That's really
sort
good.
of cementing the family legacy.
Yeah, I've been real fortunate. You know, we've been in the cattle business, it's cattle and citrus, but cattle business right out here in Bartow on Peace River for many, many, many years. And Peace River starts on our property. You know, Saddle Creek and Peace Creek come together, and we put, you know, we got it. You know, it was very important for me to make sure that stayed that way, and you know, it's going to be that way for, you know, forever. Conservation, and it just means a lot. We still run cattle, we still do what we've been doing for over 50 years, and that means a lot.
And have those headwaters saved.
Oh yeah, having Peace River there. I mean, people. I mean, you can actually get in a boat right up here in Bartow and go to the Gulf.
Wow.
And you know, it's pretty. Might be a little treacherous to start with.
Yeah.
Beat the gators off of you, but but yeah, it means a lot, and I'm just very appreciative of the state and all the people that's involved in it.
These are great stories. This could be the whole show.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
I've got like 30 questions I'd like to ask and go over that type of stuff. And you guys haven't had the opportunity. Walk up to Rick, shake his hand, say, hey, you're doing a great job. Our commission does a great job.
They do.
It's been phenomenal for me to work with them.